Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Polity Quick Revision series. So in this video, we'll talk about the basic structure of the Constitution. Here we'll take a look at the emergence of the basic structure of the Constitution, some of the elements of the basic structures of the Constitution like sovereignty, secular nature, the federal character, judicial review, and we'll also try out some interesting questions from the topic and many more such things. So without any further delay, let's get started. Right. So again, as legal minds, you will probably have that question. So what is the basic structure and what exactly is it that I cannot affect, right? What exactly is it that I cannot sort of screw up? Okay, the basic structure. So Supreme Court or, whether it is a parliament, we've not come out with exactly what constitutes or what exactly is the definition of the basic structure in our constitution. What exactly is the basic structure of the constitution? However, having said that, there have been many sort of Supreme Court cases, right? Many sort of judgments, and in those judgments, each of those judgments probably you will, if you add those up, you sort of get an idea that what are the sort of features that have emerged, okay, that we can say forms a part of your basic structure. Is that clear? So there is no clear sort of a basic structure that is defined. However, over a period of many judgments, you've noticed that there are some basic features of the Constitution that have emerged that sort of, make up the basic structure. Okay, and what are they? So one of the things is supremacy of the Constitution. So Constitution in itself, right? In some countries, Constitution is not that big a deal. Right? In some countries, you will also notice that the Constitution is not even a written Constitution. However, we have a written Constitution. Our forefathers, or founding fathers rather, they had spent a good amount of time all the way from starting of the Constituent Assembly to drafting committee to many meetings in the drafting committee, a lot of intense debates. You can actually watch the, but again, this is from Main's perspective, so we want to keep it to less than that. Rajya Sabha. Do you guys understand Hindi? There's a Samvidhan. Okay, means constitution. I'm not sure if it is available in English or whether there is subtitles in English, but a very, very sort of a good series. I think I don't know how many parts it is, but it talks about what exactly transpired during the Constituent Assembly debates. Okay, through which we formed India. Okay, through which a lot of the drafting of the Constitution have taken place. Right. So again, that's it's an eye opener. Right. It's an eye opener. You will see that why we have chosen one instead of another. Okay, why we have chosen one particular feature in place of another. If we have chosen this, what were the kind of arguments that were placed sort of to argue against it? All of those you will probably be able to see. So here, let's take a look. What are the basic features? Supremacy of the Constitution. Okay, sovereign, democratic, republican nature of the Indian polity. So tomorrow, if you say that we do not want a republican sort of a nature, but we want to have, let us say, can you tell me not a republican one, but another example? Let's say you want to have democratic but not republican. Can you give me an example and probably a term for it?
Monarchy.
Monarchy. Okay. Okay. So for instance, let's talk about an example like Britain. Okay, so they of course have their parliament, they have their sort of the kings and the queens, but however the head of the state is the king or the queen and not the president like we have. Okay, similarly, secular nation, okay, secular part of the country, that is now going to change. Okay, tomorrow we cannot have this country be let us say Hindu Republic of India, or a lot of people will be like, okay, what is in a name? Okay, majority ka name has come in, but that's not the point. The point is, will everybody feel equal, right? Is the nation giving any sort of extra preference to one religion vis-a-vis another? Okay, are we going to have an equal sort of a distance from each religion, right? The Indian sort of manner of secularism is different from Western secularism that we've already discussed, right? But the secular nature has to be there. Similarly, we have separation of powers between your legislature and executive and judiciary, right? Do we have a committed judiciary or do we have an independent judiciary? Okay, and you guys know this. And what about the federal character of the Constitution? Where exactly do you see the federal character of the Constitution highlighted? What makes India a federal country?
The Union of States.
Okay, okay. So no, that is good. That is a good, but just to add more to it, see, you can have, can I say, division of power between the national government or the central government and state governments. And this is mentioned in the constitution itself. Where exactly in the constitution? Right? So we have certain things. Okay, so and again, unity and integrity of the nation. Let's take a look at some more features. Welfare state. How, where exactly? How do you understand that India is a welfare state? Where exactly is it? If it is not explicit, where is it implicitly mentioned that India is a welfare state?
DPSP.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, Aishwarya. Okay, and then we have judicial review. So let us say tomorrow we come out and say that, hey, independent judiciary, okay, your job is limited to trying to sort of settle disputes between different bodies, okay, different parties, but not in terms of trying to question whether the executive or the legislature is sort of doing something that is beyond its authority. That will go against the basic structure, because it is a system of checks and balances. If anybody does something wrong, the final, the Supreme Court can take a look at it and say that no, this is not right. Okay. Freedom and dignity of the individual, parliamentary system, right? Rule of law, harmony and balance between fundamental rights and DPSP. And there were a lot of debates about this, and we've seen this in the earlier chapters, right? And now it is not division, it is not separate, it's harmony. Okay, this is the exact term that was used. So basic structure. Apart from this, what else do we see? Equality, right? It is mentioned in your, where is equality mentioned?
Fundamental rights.
Fundamental rights. Okay, anywhere else?
Preamble.
Preamble of the Constitution.
Preamble to the Constitution. Excellent. And then anywhere else?
DPSPs as well.
In DPSP, yes, Manvi. So base DPSP. Okay, minimizing inequalities. Okay, minimizing inequalities. Okay, excellent. Okay, things like that. Equalities. Again, apologies for my handwriting. Okay, and the fact that we have free and fair elections. Okay, you cannot be a democracy unless we can assure our people that we have free and fair elections, because sooner or later people are going to stop going to elections if they realize that it is all rigged. Regardless of who goes to vote, there is booth capturing, and this party is the one that is going to win. The second you start seeing this, okay, people will stop coming and voting for it. Independence of judiciary. So judiciary's role is mentioned here. Okay, and there is a power of the parliament to amend the constitution, but again, that is a limited power. Okay, and there are certain procedures that we have to follow. Okay, effective access to justice. Okay, effective access to justice. Whether you're rich or poor, you should have some sort of a legal aid to help you fight your case. Okay, and principles or essence underlying fundamental rights. Okay, so the essence of fundamental rights. Powers of the Supreme Court under Article 32, which is, and then Supreme Court chapter, maybe we'll take a look at these. Similarly, you have the high courts. Okay, 226. So 226 and 32 are basically these writs. So all of these things are mentioned already as basic structure. So now what exactly is your takeaway from here? If you read this list, let us say, 10 times. Okay, and when I say 10 times, it does not mean in one sitting. But if you revisit these topics around 10 times on 10 different occasions, okay, over a period of 20 days, you will notice that all of these sort of points will become familiar to you. Because in prelims is an easy part, right? In prelims, answers are in front of you. What is your job? Accurately identify it. And you will have that confidence. No, I've actually read it like 10 times. However, I don't recall having read this particular statement. So what will you go for? You're going to, what is POE? process of elimination, right? So you can eliminate those options. Same thing when we talked about amendability of the constitution. Can I ask you a quick quiz, guys? Okay, fundamental rights and DPSP. In which manner can we sort of amend the that part of the constitution? Fundamental rights and DPSP.
Special majority.
Special majority with the consent of the states, or just the special majority?
Just special majority.
Okay, another one. Distribution of executive and legislative powers between the union and the states. How do we amend that part?
Special majority plus consent of states.
Excellent. Are you referring to your notes, or you remember it from the previous session and your previous readings?
I remember it.
Okay, excellent. Okay, the last one, fifth schedule and the sixth schedule. Okay, which is to do with administration
Simple
of
majority.
Simple majority.
simple majority. Okay, excellent. So just remember that. Okay, so fifth schedule is your administration of scheduled areas. Sixth schedule is your administration of tribal areas. So that is your simple majority. So the more and more times you read this, you will become familiar with it. In fact, I can give you one of these which you have not seen before. Okay, and you'll be like, no, this was not there in the right hand side or top corner of my page. You will be that comfortable and you will be that confident as well. Okay, so that is a quick tip. Okay, so we are never done with a particular topic until we sort of try answering these questions. So let's take a look, okay, and then try to see how do we eliminate, what do we eliminate, and where do the answers lie here. Which of the following are considered as parts of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution? We've just seen this, right? Republican and democratic form of the government, secular character, division between fundamental rights and DPSP, federal character.
Option D.
Delhi, Bombay.
Yeah, Delhi.
Okay, any other option? Why did you eliminate option 3?
It should be harmony between fundamental rights and DPSP.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, so exactly. So these are the things that you want to keep an eye out for. Okay, is that clear for all? Aishwarya, Basavraj, Naveen, Manvi, Praveen, Priya, Rahul, Sangeeta, Supriya. So are you able to now see what exactly is it? They've given you a statement that probably has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 8, 9 of the right words, but one word is incorrect. One word is incorrect. Okay, and that word is going to decide whether the answer is okay to be eliminated. This option is to be eliminated or whether it has to be included. Okay, so this will be the option. So very, very well done. So the point of answering these questions or trying these questions is to see what is important. What are your takeaways? Okay, good. Now we'll go slightly faster because I think by now you guys are feeling comfortable. In which case did the Supreme Court pronounce the judgment for the first time that the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be amended?
Option C. Keshavananda.
Perfect. Okay, so I think 2 of you have answered this. Now, can you tell me what about Goloknath case? What about Minerva case? Do you guys know something about these? There are some interesting stories here. So, for instance, this Goloknath case, even the Goloknath case is quite an interesting case. It is about your Goloknath's, I think, grandfather. This is there in your Granville Austin, a very interesting, he explains it properly. There was a person who moved all the way from Bengal to Punjab, okay, and he had become a church father, a bishop, I don't know exactly the right word, the head of the church. And then, through his own work, he had sort of earned a lot of land. So there was like 500 something amount of land that belonged to that grandfather. But slowly, the next generation, by the time independence time period had come in, it turned out that the 500 acres and the descendants, the Goloknath family descendants, right? They were told that, okay, you can keep only, let's say 30 acres. I don't remember the exact number of acres that the family members were allotted, but only a certain amount of acres you can have. The rest of it has to be given to the government, and the government will probably use it in a way, probably for, distribution to the rest, something along these lines. So the family filed a petition under your Article 32, okay, challenging that act, saying that, hey, how could you place a ceiling? Because, right to property. Okay, I have right to property. So this went into that particular case. So that is your Goloknath case. Similarly, Minerva Mill case is something, right? So a lot of these things are given in your book in a topic called amendability of fundamental rights, and or evolution of basic structure. If I ask you in mains, okay, examine or assess or analyze whatever it is of the basic structure doctrine. Okay, as a 10 marker or a 15 marker, then you can sort of come with Shankari Prasad case. Then you can go to Shankari Prasad case 1951, okay, which again talks about whether the constitutional validity of the very first amendment 1951 which sort of curtailed the right to property. This one basically challenges that. Then you have your Goloknath case, very, very famous case, 1967, Keshav Nanda Bharati case in 1973, okay, all the way till your Minerva Mills case, and this was 1980. Okay, and again there is another case, Vaman Rao case. They're all very interesting, like how exactly did basic structure evolve, or like what were the sort of, like, why did people go to court in the first place, right? So things like that. Which of the following statement is correct? The Constitution clearly lays down what the basic structure is. The Constitution, the Supreme Court has elaborately, point number B, Supreme Court has elaborately defined the basic structure of the Constitution. The Law Commission of India, with the help of Attorney General of India, has defined the basic structure of the Constitution. Neither the Supreme Court nor the Parliament have defined the basic structure of the Constitution. What would it be? I'll give you a clue. We've already talked about it. So I try to keep all the most important sort of sentences, and then I sort of quiz you based on that. So just think about that and then tell me what would be the best answer to this particular question.
D.
Delhi?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other answer, guys?
D, so.
Okay. So again, Aishwarya and Manvi. Okay, good. What about the rest of you? Naveen, Praveen Kumar, Basavraj, Priya, Rahul, Sangeeta, Supriya? Okay, so the answer is your D, option D. So the Constitution clearly lays down what the basic structure is. No, it does not. Supreme Court does. No, it does not. The Law Commission does. No, it does not. So again, we just have, over a period of many judgments, we have some ideas on what are the ones that are included in your basic structure, but there is no such thing as a chapter on basic structure doctrine that tells you everything about the structure or the basic structure. Okay, so well done. The Supreme Court invalidated a provision of the 42nd Amendment, and 42nd Amendment, you guys will remember, that is your, you guys remember 42nd Amendment, right? When was it?
1976.
Okay, and can you tell me who was the Prime Minister at that period?
Indira Gandhi.
Indira Gandhi.
Exactly, so that gives you the context, right? So 1976 was your emergency period. Okay, good job to Manvi, Aishwarya, I think it was Rahul, right? So it's your emergency period, and it was your Indira Gandhi. So this was a Indian National Congress government headed by Indira Gandhi, and they had 42nd Amendment, lots and lots of changes, like a mini constitution sort of a change that took place. However, most of those amendments are later, sort of pulled out. Okay, once the new government had come back. Okay, so keep that in mind. So the Supreme Court invalidated the provision of the 42nd Amendment Act, which enlarged the scope of 368 to amend fundamental rights. Okay, so Supreme Court is saying, no, you cannot enlarge this power and amend, whatever fundamental rights that you want. Because of what reason? Okay, is it based on some technicality that the states had not ratified the amendment? Is it that, it was enacted or you cannot enact during emergency? Or that because it sort of abrogates a basic feature of the constitution, or the Rajya Sabha has not passed the amendment, with the required or requisite majority?
Option C.
Okay, C. Okay, great. So are you starting to feel the confidence that if there is a particular question from this chapter, I'm going to be able to handle it? All right, guys, so that brings us to the close of our video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you found the video to be useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the very next video.